Last 1 minute. Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Masters, place your palms on your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes. Now clap your hands. Good evening, Masters. I'm Lavanya. Today I'm going to tell you about then problems and spiritual solutions for those problems. Then before coming to the topic, I'm going to give a brief introduction about me. I'm Lavanya. I'm from Visakhapatnam. I started my spiritual journey 8 years back. So right now I'm a counselor for skin related problems. Then like physically, like I'm an entrepreneur. Then so like I also coordinate for all websites for Spiritual Tablets Research Foundation. Then so coming to today's topic, so problem, right? So like everyone has problems, has one or the other kind of problems. Here the word problem is we all know, like it can be better be explained with the words as difficulty, pain, sorrow, danger, or ill health, disease, accident. So all these come under problems only. But see, actually, what are those problems? See, after starting our spiritual journey, we'll be with an awareness like we are soul substance, not a physical substance. Like we are a soul substance in a human form on this earth to take knowledge, that is spiritual knowledge, and progress vertically. So in order to gain this spiritual knowledge, we will gain that knowledge only in the form of problems only. So when we fail to understand a problem and come up with a timely solution, and we fail to understand like life is a drama, and we are all actors on this world stage. So having come like a very it will impact our life on several planes, that is physical, mental, social, and spiritual planes. Like, so we ourselves welcome the problem in order to gain a spiritual wisdom. So if we were to view a problem from different perspective, it would seem to traverse through another set of four types. So those four types are, so those four steps are: first one is right diagnosis, second one is primary issue, third one is right knowledge, and fourth one is implementation. So let us first understand about these four habits in detail. So right diagnosis. See, first of all, we feel a particular thing is a problem when others try to reach our expectations, right? So when others do not cooperate, or if the time is not right. So we always say like, so time is not cooperating, that's why we had this kind of problems. But however, those seeking a spiritual solution must be adept in identifying the problem and its root cause. See, for example, let us consider a problem, a very common problem, that is a compatibility issue between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. 70% of the cases, this happens to teach the importance of patience to daughter-in-law. So here, when there is no compatibility between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, both mother-in-law and daughter-in-law should try to inbuild some qualities that are necessary to maintain a smooth and calm relationship between them. So what quality a daughter-in-law should learn? The quality of patience, right? So similarly, for mother-in-law also, she should learn compassion to minimize friction and to be non-ego all the time. So and develop the attitude of seeing oneness in everything and everywhere. So if they both learn these qualities, then then they both will be made very much compatible with each other. So these seems to be very silly point, because here mother-in-law will always complain on her daughter-in-law for small issues, like she's not keeping her house clean, not cooking properly. Something, it's all very minor issues. So here mother-in-law should always because she also wants a daughter-in-law only. So whatever she faced with her mother-in-law, she have to keep that in mind, and how she has overcome her problem has to be recollected. So here mother-in-law should see that oneness in everything and everywhere. If she starts seeing that oneness, even the daughter-in-law will start learning patience. So these are the qualities that they have to be that they have to learn in order to maintain compatibility. So if they start learning, right, like that house will always be happy, right? The house members will always be happy. So in the same fashion, a friction between a boss and her subordinate at the workplace goes until the desired degree of perfection is attained. So even like when there is no compatibility between an employee and his boss, there'll be no happiness, right? Because always the boss will expect more than what is required. But here the employee, right, he'll always think, so how much effort I put, my boss will not get satisfied. Begin, he has to work hard. So he has to be more patient. If he learns that quality, right, either he will get a new job offer, or the boss will get transferred to the new place. So simply thinking that one is unable to impress the boss regarding of what one does is a self-satisfying. So wishful thinking, but it does not solve the problem. So whenever there is a problem, right, we have to identify that we have to learn a particular quality. So then only that problem will get solved. Because here problems arise only to teach us lesson, either to help us enrich a positive quality or to wipe a negative quality internally. So here every problem depends on our internal attributes, just as a mathematical problem is based on a formula. We here in our spiritual journey, right, like everyone is treated equally, means um, everyone have godly qualities within us, right? So what we have to do in order to pick up or in order to recollect all those godly qualities, we'll be encountered with all those problems. So there is one spiritual scientist called Richard Bird who said, "We seek problems because we need gifts hidden in them." So we on purpose choose and face our problems because we need the hidden gifts in them. So here the word gifts refer to those qualities which keep the God and alive in us. So the problem is considered half solved simply by identifying it. So once we identify the quality that is lacking in us, so we start working, developing that quality each and every time. Because after identifying the quality that is lacking in us, definitely nature will encounter with those situations that will help to improve that particular quality in us. Further, we try to avoid unnecessary foolish arguments to prove ourselves, because once we identify, right, we generally avoid unnecessary arguments, unnecessary gossips, all these kind of things, because we'll realize that this is all waste, just wasting of our energy only. So the energy thus saved can be redirected towards our resolution, that is building a quality. So that is the diagnosis, right? Diagnosis means what? Diagnosis means like identifying what is lacking. Then comes the primary issue. So when we identify the qualities which we do not have, that we need to develop those good qualities such as concentration, determination, patience, peace, mercy, love, kindness, whatever the quality. So we need to get rid of bad qualities, that is six passions. We know, right, the six passions. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moda, Mada, Matsaryam means lust, anger, greed, pride, arrogance, delusion, and jealousy. If you have any of these bad qualities, identify them as primary issues and always work on them. See, like a month-old baby mother, right? Like whichever work she's involved in, she always keep an eye on her children, on the baby, the toddler. So, so similarly, in whichever work we are involved in, we have to always focus on the quality that we are missing. That is why we call this as a primary issue. Even like if someone wakes up in our sleep and asks, "What are you doing?" we should able to respond with identified quality, like I'm trying to get rid of my ego or trying to increase my patience levels. So we should focus on it. So this usefulness of the approach is like the keystone in an arch bridge. Like we all know the keystone lies in between the arch, right? So it provides complete support to the arch. So whenever this falls, right, the bridge collapses. So in the same way, when you identify the quality in which we are lacking, you should be thinking and concentrating on that for few days. So by doing this, the door to the knowledge of the problem is opened. But how you develop this quality? That is through meditation only. So you have to meditate rigorously initially. Like initially for 40 days or for 3 months, you have to meditate rigorously. Then we can balance all those six passions. That is lust, anger, greed, jealousy, delusion, all those six passions. So when once you overcome all those six passions, right? Like means you automatically learn all the qualities like kindness, mercy, patience, all those things. So the third one is knowledge. So after identifying the primary issue, right? So I said, right, like after identifying the primary issue, 50% of your problem will get solved. So how to solve the other 50%? Means nature will encounter, you will be encountered with all the situations that will help you to build the quality. Means suppose like daughter-in-law, right? Daughter-in-law should develop the quality of patience. So she'll be encountered with a situation by her mother-in-law. Like suppose her mother-in-law got angry for one particular situation. She maintains patience, like patience within herself. No, sorry, she maintains calmness within herself and be patient. She will never give back answer because she knows, like she will realize that okay, my mother-in-law, she's elder to me. I have to give her respect because I missed to do a particular duty, she started scolding me. So she will come to that realization. Means she started learning to be patient. Once she learns to be patient all the time, like she will never encounter with that situation again. So means she started receiving the knowledge, right? Means I am a God and my mother-in-law is a God. Both have the oneness within us. We are gods and we have the means we have a godly qualities within us. So I should be calm always. Means she started progressing spiritually. So here the ways we receive the knowledge is different, like compared to an ordinary social person. We may get the message as an experience in meditation, as a message in a dream, as an unexpected experience, or by listening to other masters' experience, or get the message in a spiritual book that you're reading. So we get an answer to a problem in a different angle by sharing our experiences with other also. That is group discussion, right? Like when we discuss our problems with any other spiritual person, right? That person might faced with a similar problem and uh, he may got the solution through the implementation of some knowledge. So through him also he can get it. So sometimes we may come across a person who is facing a similar problem, and by listening to his experiences, we get an answer or a way to solve the problem. Initially, we may see many ways to solve a problem, but when we wait with patience, right, we may find the right path. So regarding the group problem, we may get the knowledge related to that based on our role. Only when the resolution to the problem is achieved with right knowledge and implemented, that then immediately we can have an instinct about what the future might hold. So example, once we realize the effects of our anger, we should focus on reducing the anger through meditation. On other ways through people's experience with their anger. So see, we all know, right? Like anger, when we are angry, we lose our tongue. Means we talk whatever we want. But see, once after realizing that, okay, I've done a mistake, I should not repeat it again or repeat it in another situation, then it can be controlled or it can be overcome only through meditation. So once our anger wins, when our anger gets reduced, right, it will definitely bring an enormous change in our life. So as per the saying, like experience is knowledge. This knowledge acquires it helps us to resolve our issues. So in the same way, um, memorizing spiritual verses like all the slokas or Bhagavad Gita, right, helps storing this knowledge in our intellect, which in turn aids us in appropriate decision making. So there are famous slokas in Bhagavad Gita, right? Yad bhavam tad bhavati, uddharedatmanatmanam, means yad bhavam tad bhavati. So whatever that is in your mind, that will happen in front of you. So always think positive. Like all these slokas, that if you if you understand the meaning and implement it in your life, definitely you'll have an enriched life. So at this stage, like everyone should memorize at least 50 stanzas or verses from the works of great spiritual scholars like Yogi Vemana, the Sankaracharya, and Veera Brahmendra Swami. Even understanding Bhagavad Gita slokas will be important, and if you start implementing them, right, it will definitely help in your life. Like also we need some important quotes like you create your own reality and your ignorance is a cause of your own suffering. So whatever problem you face, right, you have created it, you have designed it because you want to learn the knowledge behind it, right? Because in order to progress in a spiritual way, you need to get knowledge. So you need to gain knowledge and progress in a spiritual plane. Next one, implementation, right? So here, after getting a knowledge, right, one should implement it. See, we need to remember four things before that. One is body, second one is mind, third one is intellect, and fourth one is soul, right? So our mind, that is our heart, will always will always like what do you- make us travel in an unwanted way. Suppose suppose a diabetic patient, right? He should not eat sweets, but he'll be craving for sweets a lot. But his intellect, right, will say, okay, you should not eat sweets at this time because it will increase your sugar levels. Because it will end, he'll fall ill. So we always should listen to our intellect instead of our heart, right? But in order for us to listen to our intellect, right, we need to do meditation again, because our heart, right, when we expect anything and that is not reached, we'll get angry. Our intellect knows, because see, we in a physical plane, right, we always know some, like we should not criticize others, we should not talk bad about others, we know all this, but it will be very hard for us to implement all those things because our heart will be very emotional, like, okay, that person has not done this thing to me, so I have to scold or something. But your intellect say, we know the right thing, right? We should not comment on others. No comments, no judgments, no expectations. So we need to listen to our intellect only. For that we need to do meditation, because our intellect should take priority over our mind. So the knowledge we get through our sense organs with our thought power and experience, we need to receive and accept it and put into practice in our daily life thoroughly. So then only we can come out of that problem immediately. Um, in Bhagavad Gita, right, Lord Krishna says, Jnana Agni Dagda Karmanam. See, all the problems is because of the karma, right? So how that karma will burn? That karma will burn only through knowledge. Uh, and that knowledge can be gained only through our problems. So similarly, it may take a few days or months based on the magnitude of the issue for us to realize the fact we identified. So like after implementation for some time, right, we'll definitely come out of the problem. You can see when we recognize our ego, we need to behave equalist in every situation we face. Here, the spiritual wisdom we gained in useful in contemplating our behavior, like without ego in that particular situation. So likewise, we may face same situations to increase our concentration and patience. See here, whatever the problem is with a particular situation, it will increase our patience. Like we need to realize and behave with a balanced mind in this situation because we created a situation. Like ourselves to increase our patience because we created our reality, right? We created this situation to learn a particular quality. If we are patient, then the problem should have been resolved to some extent, leading us to improve another quality. So learning one quality is not enough. Means we as human beings should be in a continuously learning mode. So one quality is not our end because our problems may arise one after the other, right? Because we have taken this human form only to experience problems, and these problems will help us to gain spiritual knowledge. So one problem will help us to develop one quality, another problem will help us to develop another quality. So it's a never-ending pattern. So these are the 4 things we have to learn. See, whatever knowledge we have, we need to put into practice. Then only we will see results. So in solving the problems with the brain mind spiritually, we need to remember 5 important things. So those 5 things, right, it will help to improve our physical, mental, social, and self-related problems. Means any problem, right, it will come under 4 categories, that is physical or mental or social problem or spiritual problem. The main challenge lies in implementation, because whenever see I say you start meditation, means nobody will sit, even if means very less people will understand and start meditating, right? Because they'll have a physical solutions, but it is only for temporary. Again, they'll be encountered with another problem for which they have to learn the same quality. So in order to solve the problems in a spiritual manner, we need to remember 5 important things. That is strategy, sincerity, seriousness, serenity, steadiness. Serenity means slowly. So it is important to recognize that we need an appropriate strategy at the outset to solve problems. Like development of such a strategy requires considering a following questions, sorry. So how this problem arise? What could be the solution from a spiritual perspective? What is our involvement in all this and how much time will it take? So answer to these all questions, right, will help you to make a proper plan. Proper plan is nothing but a strategy. So here the right strategy means you plan for something. Suppose you have some chronic disorder in your body. Means we have to plan, like, because here spiritually means we should start with the meditation, right? And then we are physical beings, right? We also have some responsibilities, like we have to fulfill all the responsibilities in our physical family. And you do all the spiritual practices, you need a proper planning for all that. Means like change your lifestyle, means get up early in the morning, do like meditation for 1 to 1.5 hours, then limit your diet, be an optimal, like that is optimal diet. Then like maintain calm silence for 1 or 1.5 hours. Then completely avoid non-vegetarian food. So means this has to be done in a particular strategy. Then only you can easily come out of that particular disorder. Here, the right strategy will ensure we are in the right direction for systematically addressing the problems. See, here, we created our own reality, means we are accountable to come from our own karma, and we can come out of a karma with intense meditation, and intense meditation only initially. Then afterwards, through spiritual knowledge. That spiritual knowledge can be achieved with the guidance of a senior counselor. Like simultaneously, we have to read spiritual books also. Then second one is seriousness. Sorry, second one is sincerity, right? So once you make a plan, you have to religiously follow it. Religiously follow it for a particular period. Means afterwards you'll get addicted to that plan, because you need to, like, if you plan to wake up at 4 o'clock and do meditation, you have to sincerely get up at 4 o'clock and do meditation. Yeah, sorry guys for interruption. So after developing a strategy, right, we need to be sincere. Sincere to the strategy. Then be serious, because seriousness means, like, if you follow the strategy for 2 days sincerely, and if you don't maintain that seriousness, right, again you'll be facing that problem. You can't come out of the problem. So you have to be very serious about the problem. And um, like flow and study, the last two are, see, here, don't expect the results to get, don't expect the problems to get solved in a short span of time, because it also depends on one's karma also, right? So give time for everything, means, like, it will you also, we know this famous saying that slow and steady wins the race, because for some persons it may take a short time, and for some persons it may take months together. It all depends upon how serious we are, and also depends upon our karma also. So like any problem, like whether it may be a health problem or any issue, I mean any job problem or any like learning arts or anything, whatever problem may be, like you have created that problem for yourself, and you have to be like, you have to accept it, and you have to, if you want to come out of the problem permanently, then you have to work on it. Don't be dependent on others. Like, we have God. See, devotional is something different from spiritual. Devotional means you always believe in God, and you always go to like temples and like chant slokas and all. But spiritual means like above that. You chant slokas and you understand slokas and implement it in your life. So once implementing all the verses and all the slokas that you've learned is spiritual, because that can be can't done in a short period of time. Like means it will take some time, right, for everything to get resolved. Because like for a 40-year-old person, if they get affected by diabetes, right, means he has to learn because he has to take that he had when sorry if he wants to come out of the problem spiritually, then he has to be initially he has to do intense practice, like, because he is lacking some 40 years, right? So whatever knowledge that is lacking for him in this 40 years, he has to complete it within a short period of time. So for this, he need a serious plan, a sincerity and seriousness to implement it, and like patience to wait for the result. Means do not expect any results in a shorter span of time. So, so that is for today's class. So, masters, do you have any doubts in it?
Hello, Master. This is Sindhuja. Uh, I just listening to your session, I just realized. So whenever we have problems, um, first we should identify the cause for it. Then then we have to gain the knowledge how we gonna solve or what are the solutions for it, and then the implementation. The
Yes,
actually the most hardest part is the implementation.
yes, yes,
Usually we will have the knowledge, also we may identify the causes, but implementation is the hardest part, I realize. And with sincerity and seriousness, and with constant efforts, perseverance, we can solve the problem. That is what I just, and meditation helps a lot in this process,
yes, yes.
what
Because
I think.
I told you, right, like we have to, like our intellect must take priority on our decisions, right? Because our heart will always say like it will make us emotional when we take everything through our heart. But our intellect guides us in a right way, right? Okay, this is the right thing. You have to do this one because once we start getting the spiritual knowledge, right? Because our spiritual knowledge will tell us to be patient all the time, but there will be so many instances in our life where we lose our patience. Our intellect will tell us be patient, be calm all the in all the situations, but our mind will make us our heart will make us emotional. Come on, it will increase our anger. We want to throw out our anger on another person against us, but our intellect will guide us. No, you have to be patient. So, in order for our intellect to take a upper hand, right, we have to do meditation.
Yes, yes.
Because, I'll tell you one of my experience. I had a skin allergy on both my hands. 3 years back, I had that allergy on like below elbow. I had skin allergy on both my hands. So, at that time, I used allopathy medicines because of pressure for my family. But after taking allopathy medicines, right, it got cured. But after 6 months, right, that allergy got repeated. So then that time I was I became adamant and I thought like I should get rid of this allergy only through spiritual knowledge and nothing, and not to take any medicines. Like it was heavy allergy. If it will be a lot of itching, if I started itching, right, then I should used to get some blood also. So it means I did not get anything like what I'm missing, what I'm missing. So then I attended one skin sessions. So those skin sessions, right, the main essence of the skin session is we should not what regret for any situations that we are facing, because we created our own reality. The situation, whatever I'm facing, right, I've designed it before in my lifetime, so I have to face it. After implementing this, right, without any medicines, even I have not applied any coconut oil or something, I've got like 50% has gone. Then another 50%, I started developing one website, like coordinated for one website, that is enjoymentscience.com. Like after that got released, right, all means I've came out completely out of that problem. So mainly identification of the problem, right? Because I have to be patient and I should not victimize myself in any situation. Because I've victimized in all the situations, like why only me? Why only I'm facing this problem? Why everyone are blaming me? I should not victimize myself. Like I've done that. So, but that situation has created by me only, right? So after realizing that point, I've came out of my skin issues.
Very nice, ma'am.
So
Uh,
first one is identification and then implementation.
yes, okay, ma'am. And I think now once we implement it sincerely, we can definitely come out of any problem we are facing. And with constant meditation, we will definitely solve our problem. And
Definitely you'll come out.
yes, ma'am.
Because everything should be begin with meditation only. Because I told you, right, intellect should take over priority over our mind, right?
Yes, ma'am. It is very essential. Otherwise, we will fall for our emotions and we may lose the track in between.
Yeah, that will disturb everything, right? If we'll be over emotional, that will disturb the relationship in our house with our spouse. Everything get disturbed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Because from past 4 to 5 years, right, whatever I have learned, I have started implementing all those, and means like I'm self-satisfied now.
Oh, very nice, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing wisdom today for Manas Meditation Katha, ma'am. Thank you very much.
మేడం లావణ్య మేడం
Sir, tell me.
లావణ్య మేడం మాట్లాడచ్చా?
చెప్పండి.
నేను రామచంద్రరావు, విజయనగరం.
మావయ్య చెప్పు మావయ్య.
అంటే రోజు నేను ఉదయం 5 గంటలకి లేచి మెడిటేషన్ చేస్తున్నాను ఒక అరగంట.
ఓకే.
ఆ తర్వాత వీలైనప్పుడల్లా ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు అలా చేస్తాను. రోజులో ఒక 3 సార్లు 4. కాకపోతే ఉదయం మెడిటేషన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కొంచెం నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నా. అది మెడిటేషన్ చేస్తున్నట్ట లేనట్టు అది?
అంటే నీకేమనిపిస్తుంది మావయ్య? అంటే పడుకుంటున్నావు అనిపిస్తుందా?
నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాను ఒకసారి.
ఒక్కొక్కసారి నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నావా?
నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాను. అది
టైమింగ్ మార్చు అయితే, అంత అర్లీగా అయితే. అంటే రాత్రి నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు డిన్నర్ చేస్తావు? రాత్రి డిన్నర్ మోస్ట్లీ 7 లేకపోతే 8 లోపల చేసేయి. అప్పుడు ఉదయం నీకు నిద్ర అంత రాదు. డిన్నర్ ఎప్పుడు అర్లీగా చేసేయాలి.
అంటే రోజు రాత్రి నేను తినేసరికి 10 అవుద్ది.
అంటే డిన్నర్ టైం
ఎక్కువ తిన్నాను, లైట్ గా తింటాను.
అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా పడుకునే టైంకి కొంచెం మనకి అంతా డైజెస్ట్ అయిపోతే మార్నింగ్ కొంచెం ఫ్రెష్ గా ఉంటది.
అలాగనా? అంటే కాకపోతే నేను రోజల్లా హ్యాపీగా ఫీల్ అవుతాను, కొంచెం ఎనర్జీగా ఉంటుంది.
మెడిటేషన్ అంటే ఏంటంటే మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న కాస్మిక్ ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది మనకి.
రోజు ఎప్పుడు ఏ పని చేయడానికి కనుక బతకంలో ఉండలేదు, అంతా ఎలర్ట్ గా ఉంటున్నాను. ఈ మెడిటేషన్ ముందుకు 6 months ఇంకెక్కువ అవుద్ది చేస్తున్నాను. రోజు కరెక్ట్ గా ఆ టైంకి కరెక్ట్ గా తెలివి వస్తుంది, అలారం లేకపోయినా సరే. కరెక్ట్ గా నిద్ర పడుతుంది. అండ్ ఈవెన్ మోషన్ వెళ్ళడానికి కూడా అన్ని ఒకే కరెక్ట్ గా టైంలో అవుతున్నాయి. నేను
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మెడిటేషన్ వల్ల కాస్మిక్ ఎనర్జీ ఏంటంటే లైక్ ఈ నరాల్లో ఉన్నవి బ్లాక్స్ అన్ని క్లియర్ అయిపోతాయి. చిన్న ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అన్ని సాల్వ్ అయిపోతాయి. ఏదైనా అంటే మనకి హెల్త్ ఇష్యూ అంటే ఆ నర్వ్స్ లో ఉన్న బ్లాక్స్ అన్నమాట. ఆ ఎనర్జీ వల్ల ఆ బ్లాక్స్ అన్ని క్లియర్ అయిపోతాయి. చిన్నవన్నీ పోతాయి అవి. కొంచెం మేజర్ ఇష్యూస్ కంటే మనం ఏంటంటే లైక్ బుక్స్ చదివి, నేను చెప్పాను కదా, ఏ క్వాలిటీస్ మనకైతే లాగింగ్ లో ఉన్నారో ఆ క్వాలిటీస్ నేర్చుకోవాలి.
అంటే నాకంటే ఇంక ఇబ్బందులు అంటే ఏమీ లేవు. కాకపోతే మరి ఇప్పుడు మెసేజ్ జరిగితే అన్ని ఒక టైంలో అవుతున్నాయి.
అది కంటిన్యూ చేయదు, అలాగా కంటిన్యూ చేయదు.
అంటే పడుకోవడం అంటే నిద్ర పట్టడం వల్ల ఇబ్బంది ఏం కాదు కదా అలాగా మెడిటేషన్ లోని?
పర్వాలేదులే.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Masters, any doubts? So masters, shall we end the session?
Yes, master. Okay, I'll just end the live.
Okay, ma'am.